my name is Jamie. I live in Saudi Arabia and I have, for me, a huge collection of makeup and we're going to talk about it today. And it just keeps getting bigger. What can I say? Also, I love my skin today. It's looking nice. I wanted to go through, do that thing that everyone else is doing because everyone else is doing it. I wanted to go through more for cataloging purposes. I hope you enjoy videos like this. I'm gonna get to the point, I promise, but for kind of just cataloging purposes, track where I'm at, I wanted to do a video about my palette collection as of December 29th, 2021. Kind of talk about where my preferences are at, what's going on, what's new, everything so far that is new, I will, everything that's new, you know about, so nothing has changed, and yeah, we're in the last days of 2021, thank God, all right? Is anyone else over it? I am. Let's get into it. I'm gonna kind of start with my small palettes and work forward, and yeah, I've rearranged my desk, so I'm a little sad to sort of deconstruct it, but yeah, let's get into it. So I'm not going to rank these in any way. I'm just going to kind of talk about them and sort of give you my generalized opinion about it. So first I'm going to talk about the Colourpop Zodiac quads, and I have 3 of them. I went ahead and ordered the Earth series, or whatever it's called, the Earth collection, and I have Never Tore Us Apart. Of course I had to have this one. I've only used this once and I love it. I just like looking at it. I don't want to get rid of the embossing, which I know is stupid, but whatever. I have Never Tore Us Apart, Head Capricorn in Charge, and Like a Virgo. So I haven't used these a whole huge amount, to be honest. And I've said it a couple of times now, I'm sort of savoring them for occasions like traveling, or even just like if I need to eventually, if I ever go back to work physically, putting them in a makeup bag where I take it to work and, you know, do my makeup at work if I sleep in or something, you know, stuff like that, because the quality is really nice. They are really neutral for me, so I tend not to gravitate towards that too much. I still like the Taurus one the most because it is a little bit different, but yeah, happy so far, like them all. I have 2 of the mini palettes from Natasha Denona. I have the Mini Glam palette and the Mini Retro palette. And if I'm being honest with myself, I do like the retro a little bit, especially for spring. I'm not loving this glam one. And I feel like especially the Head Capricorn in Charge sort of does the same thing, but for me, better in a way. So I don't know. This is an unpopular opinion, so hold on to your butt. I don't know that I love Natasha Denona. I'll get into it later, but put a pin in that. So I have these 2 mini palettes. I'm shaky on keeping them. I think I might keep the retro at least, but I'm not sure about that glam one. Next up, and again, because here again, I have this LA Girl Keep It Playful eye palette. I've done a look with this off camera and I really tucked into this really flaky black color. It was really fun, actually. I did like a colored crease and then a black smoky eye with this flaky black thing happening. I liked it. I thought it was super fun. And I enjoyed the palette. It functioned really well. I think it's cute. I'm gonna keep it. It would be good for traveling. It's neutral. You can make it dark. You can make it lighter. I think it's great. Great palette. Next up, this is of course super cute. Everyone loves this. This is the Star Wars Mandalorian, the Child palette. And I need to really use this more. This is a fun, cute palette. I love this silver. Come on, do it. Do it on my hand. Yeah, that's so cute, so fun. I love this palette and I like this sipping soup color, cute. This is again kind of the Colourpop formula that everyone knows and loves. There's occasionally some weird offness in Colourpop that just doesn't make sense. And I'm glad that this palette doesn't have that. Next up, I have the Ornate palette. I have the Dark Blooms collection, so I have all three of them. I've considered decluttering this, but I think I'm gonna keep it just to, you know, it looks nice together. It's cohesive. I have used it. It's a little cool toned for me. It takes some finagling, but overall, I really like the collection. I adore this palette. This is one of my favorite palettes. I've talked about it before. And Ornate is fun. I used this recently and I don't remember when or how. It was a weird look. One of my friends like requested I do something specifically and I can't remember what it was, but it turned out great. Love them. They're not going anywhere. Great. So I have the Sprinkle a Little Magic Tinkerbell collection, collaboration with Disney. I've talked about this. I have some issue with the palette. I'm gonna keep it for now. Not sure how I feel about it. This is another one I'm not really sure how I feel about, and I may end up decluttering it at some point. And this Fierce shade is just, yeah, it just blew out all over me. And that's the problem, is that I'm discouraged from using it because it just blows out everywhere. So I may even just like depan that and at least try to use it, you know, somewhere, somehow. Next up, I have the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsession 9-pan palette. This isn't going anywhere. Love it. Cute. Super nice. I love green. I love a green palette. You can obviously probably see that by now. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully you've seen that trend by now. You're gonna hear me say over and over, I need to get this out more. This is a mini Nubian palette by Juvia's Place. I should just declutter this. Yeah, I should probably just declutter this. It's very nude. It's very neutral. I like the idea of this for traveling, especially. But I have other things, of course, that I could utilize that for. You know, I should probably just not have this. Another thing that is kind of annoying and entering my brain is that I don't know in the future how much Juvia's Place I'm really gonna keep. I have a bunch of palettes and I like them, but I really have to make myself reach for them because I just am not convinced all the time. For me, buy the formula. Don't come for me, don't shoot me. And I'm sorry, but there's just things that I like better. And the formula isn't bad, it's just not the best for me. So I'm gonna mull this over the next few months and see what I actually use, but I think over time I may see less and less of those palettes. And who's to say what they come out with in the future? There was one blue palette that I really like. I really want the purple 6-pan from them, but there again, I don't like having to work so hard to get the like formula to perform for me. So probably best not to. I don't know. Next up, I bought this for Christmas for myself a year ago because I had COVID, and I love this palette and I adore it. It's not going anywhere, and this is the Urban Decay Stoned Vibes palette. I love this palette. I think it's gorgeous. I like it. This is a recent purchase. This is the Naked Urban Decay Wild West palette. I'm gonna keep this. I love this shit. I don't care what anyone says. At the very least, I'm keeping it for the matte shades, and the shimmer shades are dumb. I'm not gonna lie. I really like this Pony Up shade, this really dark gray. That's just everything through here is so, I love it. I do really like it. I do. I wish those shimmers were a bit better. I think I liked Cowboy Rick. I just like it's humorous to me. I think it's a nice shimmer. That's actually kind of a nice shimmer. I wasn't a fan of Bud or Rustler, to be quite honest. So yeah, it has some problems, but I got it on sale for Black Friday, and I don't care. It's cute. I love it. Don't think I don't. Next up, I need to use this palette more, but I do love it and I need to use it more, and I could have used it today, but I didn't, but I will, but I should. Anyway, is the Mercury Retrograde palette by Huda Beauty. I did a video on this, not on this, but I mentioned in a video that I got this for half off, and that is 100% the only reason that I bought this. I don't know that Huda Beauty is cruelty free. I need to look into it, and that's generally why I steer clear of the brand, more or less, but it was half off. It was half off, and it is beautiful. It is a beautiful palette. I would display this. I think it's gorgeous. I like to wear it. It's enjoyable. Yep, that's it. Okay, moving right along. This was a dumb purchase. This is a stupid recent purchase. And I'm whatever. It's a whole bunch of whatever. This is the Feast Your Eyes palette from MAC. And it is pretty. Like, what a beautiful color story. What a beautiful thing. Someone remind me that I don't like cream eyeshadow. Why did I do that? So, yeah, we're just not going to talk about that. Oh dear. Anyway, moving on. Next up is the BH Cosmetics Blueberry Muffin palette. Now, I 100% got this because of Angelica Nvikis or something. She ranked this #1 for 1 year, and it truly is good. Truly. Great palette. Happy to have it. I haven't tried a lot of these shades, but you know, I'm not worried. I'm sure I'm gonna be happy with it. So many calls, so many things. What do you want from me? Anyway, the next up is the Nomad by Juvia's Place. I do actually really like this, and I fully intend on keeping it because it is so different and so weird, and I can construct a very interesting with yellow, khaki, grungy, all my 90s grunge fantasy type green looks with it. So that's going nowhere. It's great. Stuff like this, I don't really know what I feel about this. I have the nudes, the 6-pan from Juvia's Place, and I don't wear shit like this. You know, I don't wear that. It's nice. I'm not saying it's not. I just don't wear it. So that may need to find a new home. I don't know. I'm stupid in how I buy things. I do like the chocolates palette, and this is why I might keep the nudes, is just to lighten this up, like I've talked about before, because it is pretty dark. It's very delicious on the eyes, to be honest. Just something about the idea of the chocolate and it being these colors just really sends me in a nice way. This is going nowhere, but I also hardly ever use it. This is the Soft Glam 2 mini palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. One of 2 Anastasia palettes that I own. It's fine. I'll travel with it if I ever do travel again. That's the other thing too. Like, I have some palettes that are just like really appropriate for traveling, and guess what? I'm not going anywhere right now. Love it. The next 2, if you dislike, avert your eyes. Okay. This is the Star Ranch palette from JSC. I love this palette. I love it. I don't use it enough, but I want to use it more. I will use it. It's not going anywhere. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it. This next one, on the other hand, I hate. Hate it. Couldn't hate it more. And maybe I just need to like sit down, really reevaluate how I want to use it. And like, I had an idea of what it would be, and it is not turning out to be that. So I need to kind of sit with myself and think about it. The one thing that I've noticed is that I went to use this white, and it's not that great. The Anastasia Norvina palette white is much better. Much, much better. So, come on. I have a bone to pick about that. So, I don't really know how to feel about that. I don't know who would want it in my sphere of people, but I don't necessarily like it. I just had different expectations than what it is, and I don't know. I'll try to sit with it and think about it. I think the quality's fine. I just don't like the colors. I just don't like it. Next up is the Nubian 3 Coral. This is a very fun, I think, springtime palette, so I haven't used it a whole ton. And I should make an effort to try to get it out more and use it more, but I just haven't. I've just had so many other things come into the fold that I haven't really paid that much attention to it, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't. The thing about Juvia's Place is that it just doesn't, like, I like the color stories, but especially the shimmers, they're not, I don't know, there's just something that doesn't quite send me sometimes with it. I've seen a beautiful look with this, I've done a beautiful look with this, but I can only think of one thing to do with this coral look. So anyway, this is one, again, I don't know what to do with this palette. This is the Saharan, or I'm sorry, no, this is the Warrior 2, which is an all matte palette by Juvia's Place. I guess in theory, this is a good thing to have, just an all matte palette with all neutral shades. There's a black, there's a gray, there's a red, there's an orange. I feel like I used this once or twice just to really force myself to do it, and I didn't really like it. I don't remember. I was trying to even use this in conjunction with this to try and get this red to be a little less cool toned. That may have been more the case. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to try this again, to be honest. I don't know that I like it. And this one, I know I have feelings about, and I don't know that they're positive. This is the Saharan. This is the Saharan by Juvia's Place. And I actually think it's kind of more of a spring palette, and I don't know that I like the color story. I did a look, it turned out okay, but again, I was kind of feeling like in a certain way that there was only one thing that I could really think of to do, and it's weird. Why are you putting a pink in with this Sokoto orange reddy color that comes off pink? And that's the other thing too, is that when I used it, I would put a shade on and it would come off a different color on my eye than it looks in the pan. I don't know about that. It does kind of read to me more as a spring type palette. So again, I'm gonna kind of revisit these issues down the line. Okay, next up, Self Santa brought this to me the other day. And this is the Urd palette from Oden's Eye. I'm gonna be going through kind of my Oden's Eye right now, and love this. I don't need to say more about it. Love it, great. Couldn't be happier with it. Love it. Except I have one stray Colourpop in here. This is the Lust for Dusk palette. Love it, neutral, pretty, interesting, great. And I don't need to say more about it. I love that palette. I will use it all the time. I haven't lately, but you know, it's kind of not the right season, and I've just had more to do. I haven't filmed anything with this, but I've done some work with this. I love it. I love it. I especially did a thing on this side, and it was so much fun. Loved it. Great palette. Very happy with this purchase. I love Oden's Eye. I've got to say, I do. Cat's Breath Saga of Freya palette. I think you know how I feel about it. It's not that it's bad, it's just kind of difficult for me to conceptualize. So it's not going anywhere. I still like it. I'm gonna try to use it some more. I think it might turn into more of a springtime vibe of a palette, so yeah. The Alva palette is great. I haven't filmed anything with it. I kind of tucked into it just once, but I'm excited to do more. I love this lilac shade. Ooh. I think it's more of a topper, which it is, but I don't think you can see at all. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I think this is kind of what one would call a basic bitch palette, but I still like it. I think it's pretty. And whatever. Come at me, bro. I don't care. And then I have the Alva 2 palette, which I have talked about before, and this is just kind of like a more lively, more awake version of the Alva palette, which I think was a really nice step for them. These two palettes are so pretty. The packaging's gorgeous. I love Oden's Eye. There is one palette that I didn't get and I have regrets about it, and I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I have every intention of continuing to purchase Oden's Eye. Happy customer. I will buy more. Take more of my money. Do it. So I have banned myself from, pretty much banned myself from buying any more She Glam palettes because I just don't use this. I think this is a cute palette. I enjoyed using it. There were some tricky parts to it and I could definitely try to get it out more. That's just the thing. I think that there are things I just like better. I don't think this is bad. I just don't need it, and I think this is kind of in my declutter stash, but you know, we'll see. I don't know. I just don't need more She Glam stuff. I just don't. And I think that's reasonable. There's just like, it's not a bad quality, it's not a bad brand to me. I just don't really need more of it. Next up, I also have the Nubian 2 from Juvia's Place. I have used this, and there are ways that I like to use this, but again, and these pans are huge. The shimmers just don't do anything for me in this palette. Like I use them and they're fine, but there's just better shimmers. I tend to steer towards something that excites me a little more than something like this, but I'll keep this palette around. I'm not saying it's on the chopping block or anything, it's just, I'm not in it with Juvia's Place right now. I'm not in the zone with it. This is new to my collection, and I'm actually going to be getting a replacement palette, theoretically, pretty soon. This is the She's in Parties from Melt Cosmetics. I like Melt. I like the brand. I have had a good experience with trying to get this palette replaced because it arrived broken, which is not due to the fault of Melt. It's due to the fault of me living across the Atlantic, or Pacific, depending on how you slice it. This is the KVD Vegan Beauty Edge of Reality eyeshadow palette. I love this palette. It's not going anywhere. I did not buy the next one, and I keep eyeballing it, and it's on sale, and it's gonna be discontinued, and I keep looking at it, and I don't know, it just doesn't excite me in the same way as this one, but you know, this is going nowhere. I love this. I wore this during Middle Beast. I did a fire look with it. I've done this a couple times. I did the same eye look with this palette a couple of times. It was just hot fire. Loved it. And then I have the Moonspell palette. I need to use this more. I need to find the ways with this. It's just intimidating to me. It's nice. It's not going anywhere. I'm attached to it. I just need to use it. I need to find better ways to use it. So, Metropolis, Natasha Denona. I, for instance, love this shade. I think it's beautiful. But other than that, and I'm gonna do a test right here, right now. Other than that, I may be a little mentally just done with this palette. So I'm gonna swatch it. I don't know what it's called. So that's the Natasha Denona. And I feel like this is the exact same. It's almost exactly the same. This is the Colourpop, this is the Natasha Denona. And I think on the eye, are you really gonna be able to tell? So that being said, I just don't know that I love Natasha. I just don't think I do. I'm never gonna buy, let's be clear, I'm never going to buy these palettes just because I want to. They've got to be on sale. There's got to be like some greater incentive for me than it just being Natasha Denona. Because if I'm being honest with everyone and myself, I don't think the mattes are that good. I have tried, I've used it, I've really worked on it. I've done some beautiful stuff with this palette. I just don't know how attached to it I am. And I just don't know that the mattes are anything that special. I just sort of feel like they're a bit drier and they're not as blendable as I would want, and I just have other things that I think I like better. I don't know. And then I love and adore this side of the palette. With the exception of the blue and maybe this color. Why do we have so many browns that do the exact same thing? So it may be that I don't like declutter a palette like this, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so now with some exceptions, obviously, we're getting into quite a few of the things that are more new, and they're also just like larger. So that's why they're more towards the end of the video, but yeah, these are newer. So this is the Wilderness palette. I have played with it a couple times. Love it, 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 love it. Great, love it. Couldn't, great. This thing is so nice. I actually prefer it to this next one, The Age of Opulence, with the matte quality, the matte shadow quality. I played with this yesterday and it kind of took some determination to make it work. And I don't altogether appreciate that, but the color story is just beautiful. And I love this. I love it, but I'm a little annoyed that the mattes are as hard to work with as they are. I need to keep kind of playing with it, obviously, and I did use purple, which is notoriously hard to formulate, but then I have other purples that don't do what it was doing. So, sus-ish, I would say. Next up, this is going nowhere. I do love this palette. It's just not been her time to shine lately, but the Juvia's Place Wahala 2 palette, I've done videos on this. I love this palette. It's super fun. Super fun. I don't care. I'm gonna have this palette. I feel like I was really scared of it, and then I did some really fun things with it, and now it's just never leaving. I love it. This is also a thing that is never leaving. I love this palette. I think about, like, lately I've been thinking to myself, like, I want to take out the Nikki Tutorials Beauty Bay palette today, but I'm like, oh, but I need to use other things, but I really just want to use that one. But yeah, you know. I'm actually wearing this today, and this is the 35C Everyday Chic palette from Morphe. Say what you want, haters gonna hate. I do like this palette. I'm not like on the hunt for more of the 35 collection or series from Morphe. It's just, I don't really care, but I like it. It's got some colors, and it's also kind of basic for a basic bitch day. And that's what I did today. It's kind of a just basic satiny little bitch day. I don't care. I don't care what you say. This is weird. Not weird. I've used it, I've tried it, I've demonstrated it, and I like it. It's just one of those things that I think I might declutter because I don't feel like I'm doing justice to it, but I do really like it. And I have grown to really like purple, so, you know, you never know, but I feel bad kind of having it and not flexing it as much as I should, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with things with that, but I don't know. Next up is a freaking great palette. I love this palette. This is the Made by Mitchell Feet on the Ground palette, and I love this thing every time I take it out. Every time. I love this palette. I really do. I really love this palette. I'm not inspired necessarily by the other ones in terms of the color story, but I don't know. My preferences could change. I just honestly love the shit out of this. I think it's great. Beautiful. The next up, I don't know. This is the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette, the Zodiac Love palette. And I should really declutter this, but I still have feelings towards it that I can't explain. And I know that's dumb, but it's just nice. It's just nice. I don't think I'm ready. I'm not ready. And that's the thing, I have not been ready for a long time now, but I'm still just not ready. This is not going anywhere. It's the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collaboration original palette. This is not going anywhere. I love this palette. I don't care what anyone says. That's it. Yeah. Why do we have, I mean, you've heard me say this. Why do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 basically of the same shades? I don't know. The money has been spent a long time ago. And I also spent the money before I really even knew anything. So I don't care. I'm just gonna use it until I don't want to anymore. That's that on that. So let me count how many actual palettes I have. Palettes I have, and then I'll get back. Wow, I have exactly 50 palettes. Huh, interesting. And also probably about to change. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, thank you so much, and please like and subscribe and stuff. Yeah. It's been a long year, you know? Long year, a lot of makeup, not a lot of going places and doing stuff, but you know, that's okay. I think we'll all live. And yeah, take care. Hope you're having a happy holiday, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.